in here. A lot of things to talk about. You can look at the thumbnail and you already know what the story is, right? I'm going to try to pull this up on my computer while we're talking. But let's see if we can get some people in the house tonight. Don't know how many people will show up, but we're going to give it a shot. But anyway, Texas teens collide. I'm sure, this has been out there in the media. I had said this was probably going to end up being a big, big thing. And sure enough, it has become a big, big thing. But we're going to go ahead and take a look and see if we get some people in here. We're going to talk about this. Talk about a bunch of stuff, right? We'll talk about the dude over there in Arizona who just decimates these people. I know it's been a minute. Your boy's been super, super busy. We actually did a big video at the reentry house. We'll probably put that out. Got the camera dude coming on Wednesday to the studio, so we should have the studio pretty much getting ready to rock. We got a lot of things going on, but that's why I've been so busy. But we're going to get into that in a minute, all right? So let me see if I could set this up where I could actually see what's going on from here and still do this on my, I wish I had this thing pulled out like that. Go ahead and get some people in here in the comments. So everybody knows, man, that everybody's divided over this thing, right? I mean, this isn't a surprise. Let me move this keyboard. Bear with me. I'm getting things together, right? So what side are you picking? What do you think really happened? Some people have said some crazy shit to me. Let me know if we're staticky or anything like that, because I don't know what's going on over here with this. I'm going to try to get this up on this. Getting everything together. Boom. Okay, I think we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blood on the Razor Wire TV. But anyway, so we're going to talk about Carmelo Anthony, right? Mr. Metcalf. Saying Carmelo Anthony, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that Carmelo Anthony. But we know what Carmelo Anthony it is, right? And I'm sure, yeah, we're going to address this, right? Man, boy, you boys are fat as hell on here tonight, boy. Anyway, on the late night. Usually don't do this late. So Carmelo Anthony, he goes to this track meet, right? There's this tent put up. We all know that, right? You see my little short I did. He goes to the track meet. I'm putting this up. There we go. I think we're going to center this thing. People are going to be like, damn, I ain't sticking around here. This dude looks like he's drunk. He's all over the place. But anyway, we're not all over the place. We're in the building. So, dude goes to the track meet. White kids are over there. They got their tent. People are mad at me, right? I've got some really nasty comments. I wish I could put them up. I was going to wait and see how this thing played out, and it played out faster than I thought it would, right? When I did that short, I told everybody, "Hey, look, man, check this out. This is going to be in the national media. This is going to be all over." At first, I was wondering if this was some bullshit. If this was, you remember how they did that social experiment where they said that the black dude went back and gunned down the police officer's daughter because of the situation with his son, where the cop had off the son. It was all a fake story, but it went viral on TikTok, went viral on YouTube. And I was thinking, is this another one of them social experiments, right? To see what side people are taking, right? And I think this thing's real now. Anybody in the comments, you think it ain't real, man, let me know. If you think this is some, but let me see. Taking up for someone just because of skin color is as crazy as it gets. I told you, man, sometimes people don't like the narrative, right? But we're going to bring it to you real and we're going to bring it to you wrong. We're going to tell you how it is. This is what happened, right? So they got Carmelo Anthony. They're putting up pictures on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He's got the old middle finger up. He's got the gun. And they're like, oh, that's a fake gun. Some people are like, no, that's real. Then you got pictures. Damn, man, I wish I had the other phone on me. Then you got pictures of, the white kids. They got some guns and they're in their hunting outfits. And they're like, hey, man, these guys are just hunting. But then they got some guns in the car where they got some pistols and, some pictures of that. Don't know if those pictures are 100% authentic. If they're true, don't know if the pictures are true about Carmelo Anthony. But we all know, man, most people that are on this channel, you've been involved in something in your life. We all know what really happened, right? When you use this thing up here, you know what happened. This ain't a white thing. This ain't a black thing. This ain't, hey, man, you're taking up for this dude. You're taking up for that dude. It ain't none of that stuff, right? You know what it is. Baby Bill's Mafia in the house tonight. I don't know how many people we got watching, but my son plays track. You ain't supposed to be under another school's tent. Man, listen. You ain't supposed to be under another school's tent, right? Says who, though, man? Who owns the tent? You can't go over there? You can't just have a seat? Does it mean you got to lose your life? Does it mean the other dude's got to get punched on? Probably not. But you know what happened. We all know what happened. Cougars or Gators? Some of you want the Cougars. What you thinking about, Willis? Anyway, I think that, the tent is put up, dudes underneath the tent. And then people are like, well, what does he got a knife for? Look, man, a lot of kids carry knives, right? A lot of kids got little weapons. They think they're cool. Some dudes got them for self-defense. I'm sure a lot of people on here had a little pocket knife when you were a kid. I keep a little knife over here, you know what I'm saying? Let me see, where's the knife at? Wow. These are vicious. These are pictures from other, you guys seen these pictures before, I think, right? Oh, don't show those, Chad. That's prison pictures right there. Don't do that. Don't do that. You are definitely allowed to go down to other people's tents. State champion 5 times, D'Antoine King, Keller, Alabama. Yeah, I mean, look, when I was a kid, you can hang out where you want. You didn't want to hang out over there with the other dudes, though, if it wasn't your team, right? Or, some dudes like, they get over to that other tent because there's some chicks over there. Don't act like these chicks don't date other dudes from other schools. Come on, man. My 14-year-old son carries a pocket knife. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but we do stay in a bad area. Dude, if you're living in a bad area, man, a pocket knife might not save you, in today's day and time, right? But I do believe this dude was under the tent. I do believe that, Metcalf and his brother, and there's been some allegations on Twitter and X and some paperwork and some different things out there that say these dudes were aggressive, right? And I do think that that's what happened. I believe that Carmelo Anthony was under the tent, and they're like, yo, homie, you can't be over here, bro. This is for us, for our people over here. And I think they may have got a little aggressive. Why would common sense tells you, and how much money they raised for this kid already, like $160,000 or something? I remember seeing it at one time. It was like $80,000 at one time, 85. Then I seen something else about $160,000 for Carmelo Anthony. Let me say this first and foremost. It's always sad when 17-year-olds lose their lives, right? It's always sad when kids lose their lives. It's sad for the parents. It's sad for the family. It's sad for the person who ends up in jail over this situation, right? But we see kids every day getting gunned down, man. Every day. Kids are dying every day. Thinking they're grown and they never get a chance to actually experience it or understand what it is. So I do believe that these dudes were pressing the dude, man. Like, yo, you can't be over here. And he's like, yo, man, don't tell me what to do, bro. I can be wherever I want to be, right? Probably a little dispute like that, right? We don't know how it plays out. And then he tells him, man, don't put your hands on me, man. You're going to find out what's going to happen if you put your hands on me. Why would he say that? Let's think about, what's your hypothesis, right? What's your educated guess? Why would Carmelo Anthony say something like that? Probably because dude was like, man, you better get out of here. I'm going to punch you in the mouth. Or maybe dude was like, hey, man, don't make me put my hands on you. Or maybe he says, man, don't make me body. So whatever, something was said. Dude don't just be like, hey, it is, whatever, man. Like, some message held for review. Some people are mad. Chastity, oh. Were they mad at me, Amy? Matt, don't be mad at me. Be mad at the world we live in. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the world that we live in where, dudes are beefing over, and, this happens all the time in life. Dudes are beefing. Chad Kington, bro, you're 40, grow up. Why? I can't wear it. Why am I not grown up? Because I got a necklace on? Because I got a hat on? Grow up. Reverse the roles. Do you think they would have the white kids back? He was murdered and still can't stick up for him. There's problems that start in the home and are taught from bad parents. I believe all kids are a product of their parents. I believe that. Even though I can tell you that my kids are wild as hell at 3 years old, man. We're trying our best. But they ain't even scared of me. They're just like, do whatever I want, Dad. You know what I mean? Convo with Upstate, best channel on YouTube. Thanks for the audio. Now, we're going to address some real shit today, right? Tonight, we're going to address some real shit. We're going to talk about real shit, right? We're going to talk about the stuff that we see in the world every day. Whether it's white, whether it's black, whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Asian. We're going to talk about it tonight. That's what we're going to get into, right? You guys, we should have put the title Race Relations, but they might have taken it down. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit that like button, man. You want to learn something tonight? We're going to learn something. Wow, this is different than violent. I understand. Convo with Upstate, man. Appreciate you. Scott Hutchinson in the house with the 5-piece. We appreciate that. But there's outside influence on kids as well, not just what happens at the home. I agree with that also. So anyway, that's what I think happens. Dude presses Carmelo. Carmelo says, hey, man, check this out, man. Don't tell me what to do, bro. Probably some chicks around, some egos floating around. And I do believe, this dude's got his brother with him. And He wasn't, listen, man, let's just call it what it is without people getting mad. He didn't walk over and be like, hey, buddy, could you go to the other tent, man, please? Like, that's what I'm hoping, man. Like, we don't want no problems, dude. You smoking, please? So anyway, that isn't how it happened. Dude, he tells me, hey, man, you put your hands on me. I think I did see something. I didn't see the video, but I did see something where they said there's some kind of footage where, the kid puts his hands on this kid. Kid pulls the knife out, stabs him. You can see in his picture, he's like, he knows he's in a world of shit right now, right? He's in Texas. You hit this white kid. You're in Texas. It's probably not looking good, right? He's scared. Like, look, man, dude passed away. What's the tape above your head? That's because my editor said that when I have that up there. What's going on here? Why did that freeze up? My editor said when the light's on, it was too bright. But you ain't gonna have to worry. Well, we're still gonna do some Zoom interviews, all of that good stuff, right? Big Mouse 12, what's going on, brother? But I put that up there to kind of like, so it ain't so much light in here, right? This used to be my wife's hair salon area, and she had some really bright lights put in up there. But I took it over, and it's the office now. But we have a studio, we have an office, all of that now. So we're in good shape. I heard he stabbed him in the heart. Look, man, I've seen plenty of people just stabbing, right? In prison, you're stabbing, and wherever you get stabbed, that's what happens. I don't think this dude was like, I'm going to hit him in the heart and end his life. I don't think that's what happened, man. He had permission to be under the tent by a coach due to the rain. Damn near everyone I know carries a knife here. We're going to deal with reality. Most kids are carrying knives. A lot of kids are. Maybe not most, but a lot of kids do. And the coach told him, hey, man, you can go under the tent. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe the coach did tell him he can go under the tent, right? And he's like, hey, when dude starts pressing, like, man, look, bro, he didn't tell him, the coach told him probably. He's just going with it. Like, man, look, bro, I'm good, bro. Like, leave me alone, man. I'm okay right here. Don't be trying to, tell me I got to go, all of that. Stabs dude in the heart. The police come, and the cops like, hey, I got the alleged, perpetrator here, the suspect. He's like, man, I'm not alleged. I did it. Like, he admits, like, I'm the person that did that. 17-year-old kid. But what's the bigger story here, right? I'm going to tell you what the biggest story is, right? You already know what it is, man. People on the white side are like, hey, this dude's a piece of shit. Should go to prison for the rest of his life. Why was he carrying a knife? Like, you can paint that narrative, but like I said, a lot of kids carry knives, right? Nowadays, right? If you're so scared and carry weapons, why are you out getting confrontational? This man's twin held him till his last breath. Regardless of the situation, never is murder okay. Murder's never okay. But do you believe that this kid intentionally meant to murder this kid? I don't believe that. I just don't. And his twin held him, but was the twin involved in kind of like punking this kid? Like telling him, yo, man, you got to beat it, homie? Probably, right? I mean, hey, listen, you guys didn't hear from my brother. He's the first interview that we're going to do, right? I'm a white Italian from New York. Texas, they usually carry guns. I mean, they carry guns in a lot of places, right? But he's going to tell you, and we'll talk about it, man. When we were kids, I'm just going to give it to you real. There was no fair ones. In prison, man, when you're part of a gang, a group, a car, there are no fair ones. You think this dude was just over there, like, telling dude he's got to go, like, hey, bud, you're in the wrong place, man. You need to head on over there. Probably didn't happen that way, right? Pull, put your fist. Hey, back in the day, fist to cuff, hey, that's what they did. They got it in with these, right? Not everyone had a weapon back then. But nowadays, we're living in different times. We can always look and say, hey, dude shouldn't have had a knife. Hey, this dude shouldn't have been under the tent. Hey, this dude shouldn't have told him he had to leave the tent. Hey, this dude didn't know that the coach said he could go under the tent. We can do all of that. But what's the biggest picture here, right? Like I said, there's a bunch of big pictures, but the biggest picture is what? 7-year-old kid loses his life, right? This kid's gone. His father's a Christian. Father says, man, I forgive this kid, whatever. Right away, he's like, man, I forgive this kid. Hey, he's a better man than me, man. I love my, I got 2 little boys, man. I love them more than anything in the world, man. But he's a better man than me, I can tell you that. I'm not there. I don't know if I'd ever be there. But he's like, hey, man, I forgive him for taking my son's life, right? Whole family's destroyed. Carmelo's in jail, right? Listen, man, the country's talking about him. You can see in his picture that he's scared. I think he was a good athlete, too. And, kids nowadays, which is shocking to me, like certain things that kids do, like taking pictures with man, that would never happen when I was a kid. Man, if I did that, my mom would have bust my ass, right? I know I took the wrong path later on in life, but as a kid, my mom would, man, listen, you ain't taking no pictures like that. My grandmother, They ain't playing that stuff. But that's what these kids are doing nowadays. That's what they're doing. So what's the biggest picture? Like I was saying earlier, right? You know, the white people are like, hey, he's a piece of shit. He needs to go to jail. And then, you know, on the other side, the black people are like, hey, you know, people are mad about this dude having a knife on him, but Rittenhouse was able to walk around with a and ready for action, right? So you already know people are picking sides. They're going to pick sides. And I'm going to say this, man, and people are going to be mad when I say this, right? And I'm sure all the facts will come out. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll come back on here and say I was wrong. But I believe that my scenario, the way that I see it, and it ain't on no racial shit, because I'd be saying it if it was the other way. Straight up. I believe that my scenario was probably the truth. Maybe the coach did tell me to go in there, and he's not telling the white dude, like, hey, the coach said I could be here. He's just like, hey, man, leave me alone, bro. Maybe he, you know, he was conscious of, I got that equalizer. A lot of times people are faking, right? I've seen it in prison a lot of times. People let you know they got a gun on you. People let you know they got a knife on them. That's a scare tactic. Like, hey, man, stay away from me, man. Maybe he felt empowered that, you know, he'd tell him, hey, man, I tell you, man, don't put your hands on me. He's got that thing, right? He's got the equalizer to him in his mind. But I'm sure this kid wasn't anticipating, hey, I'm going to a track meet to take someone out. Like, that's not what they were anticipating, right? Oh, man, Dr. Jamal Salami, listen, bro. You can't specialize in laser eye surgery. You must see me squinting, huh, bro? You're like, I got to get this dude. Can you fly over here and, huh? I need that laser eye surgery. You know, I'll be squinting sometimes. And sometimes you guys see me, like when I'm in an interview, I see me squinting or looking up at the camera. I'm looking to see how much time's on there and what time it was so I can put down a quote so I can put that in the intro. They've been banging all my videos, not monetizing them because of the intros. But the last two long videos. But we're about to start getting busy. So what I'm thinking is, you know, they pressed the kid, told him he had to go. Dude's like, hey, man, gotten his feelings too. Probably some chicks around. Pride gets in the way. Pride has cost many people their lives, right? Pride has destroyed countries, man. Gotten his feelings like, man, don't tell me what to do, man. If you put and I do believe that one of them, I do believe that he responded and said, man, don't make me punch you in your face. Don't make me put my hands on you. Don't make me do that. And I think that in his mind, he's like, there was like, man, you ain't gonna do shit. And in his mind, he's thinking, man, I got that thing. I'm probably pull it out and scare him. But I think dude put his hands on him. And once dude put his hands on him, and he's got his brother there, maybe he was in fear of his life. Maybe he was fearful. Well, a fist fight, you don't be fearful. Hey, man, anyone could die during anything. A lot of times, people don't die from fist fights, right? But once in a while, some people fall down. They hit their heads. Just seen a story today where dude, his roommate got in an argument. Dude shot him with a BB gun and ended his life with a BB gun. Like, are you serious? I started reading. I think there's like four a year from BB guns. I'm like, are you serious? That's crazy. But maybe dude was afraid, and I know now he's in a situation where, you know, I think this kid's in a bad situation. You can, yeah. The image you project is the image you have to protect. But I don't think that kid intended to go down there that night and say, I'm gonna do something to one of these dudes tonight. Bringing this thing with me, I'm gonna do something. And I don't think the white dudes were like, hey man, tonight we're gonna find some dude in our tent and start some shit and scare him and act like we're gonna beat him up. And then I'm gonna die. No one thinks that, you know what I mean? But it's bigger than that. It's about young dudes, man, that might be watching this show tonight. Think about it. You know, and I'm gonna agree with some statements from other people too, where, hey, man, you don't really need a knife until you have one. Maybe you don't need a knife, man. Maybe you shouldn't be going to a game, a soccer game or a track meet or a football game with a knife, man. Are they going to steal the other? Come on, bro. I think we have to wait for the trial. Man, they're going to cop this kid out, man. Is there going to be a trial? I mean, they got a bunch of money for a top-notch lawyer down there. The lawyer's looking for a lesser bail. I just think that, man, it's important that it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about young dudes that make mistakes, man. Drastic mistakes that cost you your life. It's an example. Let this be a teachable moment to every young man that's watching this. Every young lady that might have seen this video tonight. Let this be a learning experience. I think Bankman-Fried gets a pardon. I think it's coming. Let this be a learning experience that, man, it ain't that serious, man. Dude tries to play you in the tent, man, be like, man, whatever. If it comes to it, man, Win, lose, or draw, man. Everybody takes an L once in life, once upon a time, right? Everyone gets an L, man. You just get back up. An L only lasts for a little while. The embarrassment only lasts a little bit. Not watching championship college basketball right now, bro, because I'm sitting here with you tonight. And my wife's just watching some, like, what is it? Not The Bachelorette. She's watching Love is Blind. But these people meet in these rooms and they never see each other. And then they fall in love and they meet each other in person and they love each other. And then it doesn't work out eventually, probably, right? Not my thing. I don't watch a lot of TV. But, I wanted to talk about this because I want it to be a teachable moment. I want young dudes to see this video. And think about this, man. This dude could possibly be going to prison for the rest of his life. Could be doing 10, 15 years in prison at 17. Going to miss the best years of his life. Is he going to end up copping out? What do you guys think? You think he's going to go to trial? I think they offer him some kind of plea, man. I think this thing gets worked out. I think the whole world's watching. But the biggest part is this, right? And we can get into this and we could be here for days. We could actually be on here and do a 24-hour run without going to sleep. I heard about the guy in Brooklyn. I'm going to do a short about it tomorrow. I should have did it when I seen it earlier today. I just didn't have time. Absolutely. What a disaster, right? What about the dude that, hold on, we got to stay on this for a minute. We'll talk about that dude that, offed his girl, man, and threw her 2-year-old off the bridge. Like, dude, like, is prison even good for you, man? Yes, I think bro gets out. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think this dude wins on self-defense, or do you think he goes to prison for a very long time? Trial, yes, because he's young. Man, I think that once the facts play out, maybe they don't even push the prosecution, right? Maybe they do let him cop out. I think that this kid ends up copping out to something very light, maybe even probation. Once the facts are found out, right? They already know the facts. How many kids you think went down there to the police station, man, and said, yeah, I seen what happened. And they're going to tell it how it was. Old boy right there, he slapped him in the face or he grabbed him. He told him not to grab him. They already got 1,000 statements. They already know what really happened. And I bet you there is some fun. I bet you someone had their camera out, right? Everybody's recording everything. I'm about to watch this shit go down right here. Instead of intervening, right? It's a lie. They never touched him. Oh, we're going to find out, Abel. We're going to find out. Did he threaten to punch him in the face? Because I've read different narratives, man. I read that there is evidence that they did touch him, that the brother grabbed him, that both of the brothers were being aggressive. I read narratives where nothing ever happened. They didn't touch him. But I mean, there is some statements where he allegedly said, if you put your hands on me, watch what's going to happen. Something had to happen for him to, for every action, there's a reaction, right? I don't think he was under the tent and was like, hey, white dude. Yeah, you put your hands on me, wait till you see what happens. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Depends on his lawyer. I'm going to agree with that too. I think that the community is going to come out. I think that the lawyers are going to get involved. Free bro, I met so many punks like those two. Listen, I'm going to tell you something, man. I met a lot of punks in my life, right? And I'm going to give you guys some more punks, right? And this is something that bothers me. Some people might get mad, right? It ain't your position to talk about it, man. Listen, bro. That's the number one problem. You think that people can't talk about shit. You watch some of these videos, man, these prison videos. You guys seen, and I talked about this, you guys seen that black dude? About a week ago, the video went viral. He's in all white, face all bleeding. Other black dudes, punks, punk-ass motherfuckers, punching this dude in the face. He's bleeding. He's like, man, I can't breathe. Like, I need some mercy. I need some help. I met some dudes that, done some serious shit in the street. And one of them dudes like, damn, bro. He seen that video. He's like, damn, bro. He said, at some point, man, you kind of got to be like, yo, that's it. You lost. It's over with, man. But these people just keep brutalizing these people. You can go on Twitter, right? X and all that good stuff, right? And you just see, like, you see it. You see it, man, call it what it is. It's real and it's wrong. Too many people beating on their own people, man. What's it stand for? With respect, with respect. Something we used to write on our kites in jail, WR, when you send someone a kite, right? It's horrible, man, that these two kids, potentially, one kid's lost his life. A mother and a wife, a mother and a father, mother and a wife. Yeah, we're living in a crazy world, boy. Anyway, a mother and a father have to bury their son. A twin brother lost his brother, his best friend. Has to bury his best friend. It's also sad that this kid right here is in a mugshot, like, scared, man. Realizes that, he did something that he probably wishes in his heart he never did. You better believe he's sitting in a cell rubbing his head right now. I talked about this before, man. He's rubbing his, he's scratching, he's rubbing. Like, damn, man, what am I going to do? And all he really wants probably is his mother. Just wants his mother to hug him and tell him it's going to be all right. But sometimes mama can't hug you. Sometimes mom and dad can't save you. When it gets this bad, mom and dad can't save you. When you were younger, man, maybe your father put you in the corner, spanked your butt. He left, mom gave you a hug. It's going to be all right, son. I know what happened to me with my step-pops. He just wants his mother to comfort him, man. Kid might lose his life. But it's not about just them. That's the point that so many people don't get when they leave nasty comments to me. You don't understand what I'm doing. You don't understand what I'm talking. You don't understand what I'm speaking. Track high school stabbing, man. White kid, football star, right? Great player, good GPA. That's what we're talking about. You can't hear what I'm saying, man. It's about young dudes losing their lives. It's about, I don't know, man, are we ever going to be a world where people come together? And I always like, referring to this, man. 9/11, right? See all the people come together, man, all the New Yorkers, white, black, Hispanic, Asian. People are like, man, we're together, man. I felt like the nation came together at that time when I was a youngster. I was out running from parole, but I was a youngster. And I just remember that vividly, like, damn. And I remember saying to myself, like, everybody's coming together. Will it ever happen? Or will we continue to blame history? Or will we continue to blame this person or blame that person or blame what happened way back then? None of that shit's good. None of that shit is right. But, man, you know something? At the end of the day, you can't fix something you won't face. They should tell dudes that in jail, man. You can't fix something you won't face. Can we ever fix it? Or do we remain a nation where people are chasing that bag, chasing that money? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let it be a teachable moment. This shit bothered me for days. I read all kinds of shit about it. Supposed to be working on emotion. I'm reading this stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, like, sometimes I see things, right? Sometimes I see cases. And they affect me emotionally and mentally, man. Taped on the light is to block out the light right there, man, like we used to do in prison, because my editor said that when I do videos, it's too bright. It puts a thing on my green screen, so he wanted me to put something up there. But we got a studio popping, man. Wednesday cameraman will be at the studio fixing all the audio and everything up, man. Hopefully we'll be ready to go. Hopefully I'll be doing like a bunch of interviews this weekend. Got some dudes lined up. As long as I get everything set on Wednesday, we're good to go. In-person interviews. So if you're looking for an in-person interview, you want to come on the channel, you got a compelling story, man, whether it's true crime, you've been in the streets, whatever it is, hit me up. Let's make it happen. Now I said, look, like I said, man, the nation's divided once again, and it all comes down to the big R, right? It's the big R. You guys know what it is. It's the big R. Yep. RR, race relations, man. I'm going to pick this side, you pick that side. Doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. If you're on this side, it's the side I'm going to be with it. And this side, I'm going to be on that side. And you can get mad all you want. We're going to call it what it is. Get mad at me. Write me nasty messages. Hey, I understand. But if you just sit back and think, right, I don't have a horse in the race. I don't. Or a dog in the fight. I probably should have used that. No pun intended, right? But I just try to look at things, man, for what they really are. And sometimes I feel like people are blinded by stupidity, man. Sometimes you just can't see things, man, because you're emotional and you allow, what you've breathed in your heart to stop you from seeing the real picture, what really happens. Whether it was a white dude or a black dude or a Hispanic dude, none of that matters. None of that matters. What matters is that we're a divided nation. We're going to continue to be divided. We're going to continue to blame this person, blame that person, blame history, blame it on this guy, blame it on that guy. And we never prosper. We never get past that line. We always stay where we're at. And if you always stay where you're at, you always get what you always got, right? Can't get no further. That's what it's about. It's about young dudes losing their lives. It's about young dudes thinking, hey, look, I seen this story in Texas on this YouTube channel on accident. It just came up on my feed and I watched it. And now you end up in a situation and it might remind you. Like, damn, man, I'm going to let this shit go. And you know, hey, look, Cedric Dean taught me this. If it ain't worth killing you over, it ain't worth fighting over, man. And most people ain't trying to kill nobody, man. Not over no spot and no tent. You really ain't trying to do that. That kid did something he didn't mean to do. Believe me when I tell you that. He didn't mean to do that. He thought he was going to pull that thing out, man, maybe scare the dude or maybe poke him, you know. And dude's going to run away and it's over with. Unfortunately, he poked him in the wrong place. I've seen people stabbed 20, 30 times and not die. I've seen people stabbed one time in prison and die, lose their lives. Warren's got to call up their mama. Hey, I know your son had a release date, 2 years, coming to the halfway house, but he's gone now. We're going to send him home early. Send him home in a body bag. When Austin's father spoke, he had me tear up and never cry. You see, they found a body in Florence, USP this morning. I did not see that. I'm going to have to pull that up, man. How about dude that offs to 3 people in 1 day in prison? Like, whoa. He's off the chain, right? Like, he was like, hey, I'm on a mission, 16 life sentences. I said 16 to life the other day. Sometimes you're doing stuff fast, you misspeak. Doing 16 life sentences, he ain't got nothing to lose. He's probably like, man, I hate my life. And you know what, man? I don't like this dude. And that's all it takes, man. You be in prison with some dudes that are just, you know, one day they're like, you know what? I know I ain't never getting out. They can't do nothing else to me. And I never cry. Sorry. Hey, man. Sometimes I shed tears for people I don't even know, bro. It's sad. It's sad all the way around the board, man. It's sad for his family. It's sad for Mello's family. It's sad for Mello. It's sad, man. It's sad. It's a sad reality, man. It's unfortunate. But dude goes around, man, 3 people. He says, man, today's the day, man. I ain't never getting out. Got nothing to lose. I got a beef with this dude. And you know those other 2 dudes that are over there? I know what they're here for. I don't like those dudes. So I'm going to try to get as many as I can. He might have had 7 or 8 people on his list, but he can only get to 3. These are the people you're going to be around, man. When you make drastic mistakes and your ass goes to prison, these are the people you're going to be around. You can't fix something you won't face. I really like that quote. It is what it is, man. It's the truth, man. It's just, that's what it is. Then when you read a story and you see the pictures, right? There's a story that hurt me a couple weeks ago. The dudes in Florida, right? They killed a little 6-year-old kid. I'm like, wow, man. Devastated. Like, oh, it's a black kid too, man. Little black kid, man. Shit hurt me, man. Seen this picture the other day of a mother. She posts her baby, man, her little son. I think he gets a hold of some fetty, man. 6, 7 years old, man. They show him in the coffin, man. But wow. You watch that, and if that don't hurt you, if that don't make you tear up, if that don't make you go to your little 3-year-old, because I'm going to tell you what I did, man. I've done this a few times. When I seen that, man, I just stopped working, got off my computer, left my phone downstairs in the office, and I went up and told my kids, man, Dad loves you. Tell them all the time, man. And I say, you love Dad? And they say, yeah. I say, how much? They say, with all my heart. And I say, Daddy loves you too with all his heart. Love of my life, man, my 2 sons, you know what I mean? Love of my life. When you see a little kid like that, man, it makes you appreciate your own kids, man. You got to do better, man. You got to do better. Parents, man, we got to do better. People, we got to do better. Addiction's serious. You guys will see the video that we did at the reentry house, man. One dude was like, hey, man, I relapsed, bro. And I'm going to keep it real with you, man. You want to know? I'm going to keep it real with you, right? One of the dudes over there, Puerto Rican dude I known all my life, he goes up there and tells him, look, bro, you're going to have to get up out of the house, man. Disrespecting the house. We don't know what's going on with you. He starts, black dude starts talking all that cracker shit. One of the other dudes records it, sends it to me. This motherfucking cracker right here ain't going to kick me out of this house. So you know what? You guys are going to see the video. Go there the next day, and in my mind, I'm like, but I had to think, man. I had to think. And at the end of the day, man, we're going to get the dude into treatment. He's going to treatment tomorrow morning. We got him a bed. He relapsed. But you know what else we got? We still got a place for him at the reentry house, even though we didn't pay no rent. We got a place for him. We're going to hold his room down. We're going to make sure the door's locked. No one's going to touch his stuff. And when he gets better, he's going to come back to the reentry house. He's going to start again. He's going to climb that mountain. And sometimes you slip and sometimes you fall. And when you're slipping and you're falling, sometimes you need someone to help pick you up, man. Sometimes you need someone to pick you up. Hey, so we're there. We're going to pick them up. We're not going to just kick them out. We're not going to give up on them. You guys will see the video. It's coming. What's up, cue ball? I can't go back to prison, man. I don't never want to go back to prison. Then I was saying about the dude the other day, man, look, I do legal work. I get a lot of people out of jail. Got some people out that did some really bad things. They got a second chance. Chad, I'm curious, how many people have you been able to bring home from prison since you have gotten your cell phone? And a follow-up question, has there been anybody that has squandered that opportunity? There has. How many people have I gotten out of prison? Too many to count, man. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. I mean, since, I was in prison for a long time, got numerous people out of prison while I was in prison, numerous people since I've been out. I think I got like 15, 16 dudes that had life sentences, some for violence, some for bodies, some for drug crimes. I mean, I've helped a lot of dudes out, and some females. And, like the dude I seen today, man, he offs his girl and takes the 2-year-old. Look, man, I told you this before, man. Kids and old people, senior citizens, in my mind, in my book, they're off limits, man. You take a 2-year-old off a bridge, like, come on, bro. Come on, man. You hear JD, people joke about it. We mention it sometimes, the wood chipper. That shit might be too nice for a dude like that, man. Where is you got to grab a hold of yourself, man. Sometimes you want to react. You want to do something. But you got to grab a hold of yourself, man. Do you do early releases off probation? I got 5 years on paper. When can I get off early? I do them, Trey. You can hit me up, freedomfighterspc@gmail.com. I do them. And I'm going to tell you something. Let me make sure I'm correct. I think I got 2 that are still pending, but everyone that I've done, I've won, except for one. My own. I lost my own. But I ended up winning it a year later. The judge says, look, man, my judge called me to his chambers. He said, hey, I want you to bring your wife and your kids. I want you to come down here. And every time I go to the federal building, I get nervous. Samantha Rose, I'll answer you in a minute. And a year later, my judge let me off. Do you have any advice for a young adult going into a long sentence out here in Cali? Same thing that everyone else says, man. Get in there, mind your business, work hard, and hope that the law changes and rehabilitate yourself, man. Start building your resume to get out of prison on day one. That's what you do. Take as many programs as you can. Start thinking about clemency if you're going to be doing a long sentence. But build that resume so when you go there in 5 years, you got all these programs. Look, I'm no longer a threat to public safety. I've turned my life around. I appreciate what the framers found so important. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm no longer that person. That's what it is. Weeze, APK, I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, I got numerous people out of jail when I was a jailhouse lawyer, bro. USA doesn't deserve my sweat. Work hard now. USA doesn't deserve my sweat. Hey, use your time. Don't let it use you. Look, I'll tell you this right now, right? We always hear people talk about, man, hard work. You got to work hard to make it happen. I do believe you got to work hard, but I also believe that people get lucky in life. You got to have a little luck with that hard work. It don't just happen, man. And we'll talk about YouTube, man. Some dudes, man, if it wasn't for YouTube, where would you be, right? You got lucky, but you had a story to tell, man. Whether it's true crime or, the dude going around showing people houses and, people on vacations. I'm on a vacation. These dudes are making big money, man. Or if you're Miss Rachel, Miss Rachel was going to be working a regular job. And then she's like, you know what? Yeah, speech therapist, college educated, living in New York. Maybe she gets a job making $100,000 a year. She's doing okay. Then she decides, you know what? She does a show on YouTube for kids. Well, I thought about giving up Blood on the Razor Wire TV, getting me a cowboy hat and be like, hey, it's Chad on the farm. You know what I'm saying? But I stuck with the Blood on the Razor Wire TV. As you can see, and it's not, doesn't work out that great financially. Just being honest with you. But, I do. You guys want to see, man? I showed you this before, but that's what damn, I shouldn't show you what the desk looks like. That's what the desk looks like. Like, come on, Chad. The desk. Oh, but hold on. We got more over there, too. Then I got my candle going. That's what the office looks like, baby. We got work to do. Do a lot of work here, man. I have to tell you that. Let me see if I can fix this again before people get pissed off. Hit that like button, Chad's keeping it real. Shout out from Maryland. Appreciate you, man. Yo, Chad, you lost weight. Keep it up, bro. Chad, bad dude. You got some soul, Chad. Appreciate you, man. In-person interviews are coming soon, man. So if you want to sign up, man, you want to come up to Rochester, New York, you want to do an in-person interview, you got a compelling story, hit us up. We're going to bring you in. Well, I mean, we ain't got a lot of money to fly you in, baby, but if you get here, you know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Definitely appreciate, people tuning in, man. One other thing I want to address, like the dude from El Salvador that got sent back. People are like, you love Trump. Look, man, I got out of prison because of Trump. I don't love Trump. So if you think I love Trump, I mean, I'm appreciative that I was able to get out of prison. I see a lot of good things that he's done. I see a lot of crazy, bad things that he's done. I mean, it goes both ways, man. It's a two-way street. But you know what? Every president in history has done some bad things and done some good things. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't think people get to that point in the office and be like, I want to screw the United States. Even Joe Biden, I don't think he was like, I'm going to screw the United States. Some people really believe in the things that they're doing and the things that, the policies that they put together. And they don't work out. And then everyone's like, yep, he don't love the U.S. He's a piece of shit. Even like, let me tell you this publicly, right? Like right now, the Federal Bureau of Prisons is under what? The Department of Justice. I'm telling you right now that it's being switched. It's going to go to the Department of Homeland Security. And now the Federal Bureau of Prisons may get very bad when that happens, right? Because they have a lot of secrecy. They can do things that other people can't do. And this may be the path to, make, private prisons. This might be, like more private prisons, more and more and more than you've ever seen before. I mean, like, you know what I'm talking about, man. Core Civic, the places that we've been, CCAs, all of that bull crap. So, I think that Trump's probably, working that way. And I don't like that at all. I don't respect that at all. Samantha, if you send me an email, I'll send you an audiobook. I don't have no physical copies. I'm going to be straight up with you. Like, I really appreciate everyone that purchased the book for me. But it was just getting, things were getting out of control, man. Right? I was signing books all day, man. And it was interfering with work. And that's how I pay my bills, man. Doing legal work. So I had to kind of like pull back from the signed copies and all that stuff. Some people do buy signed copies and send them to me in the mail, and they buy copies, they send them to me in the mail from Amazon, and I sign them and send them back. So, we've been doing that. There's a guy, I don't know if he wants me to say it, but there's a brother the other day, man, hit me up, made a donation. And you know what, man, we took care of some people with that donation. We did a clemency petition with that donation, and we did a compassion release motion with that money. But definitely appreciate you. You know who you are. If you're watching, you know who you are. And I definitely appreciate you, man. I appreciate you fully. Been up since 4:30 this morning. I'm going to get ready to cut out of here in a minute. Do want to talk a little bit about the El Salvador prison situation before I do go. Look, man, like I told you, man, there's one thing that I hate. Hate's a strong word, right? But there is one thing that I hate. Samantha Rose, I'm sending you a free audiobook. That's the email that Amy just put up. Email me. One thing I hate is when I see other prisoners, man, doing stuff like to that dude that had the white on the other day, blood all over. I'm like, damn, bro. This dude's begging for mercy. Like, come on, man. And, other people be like, oh, well, he was probably an SO or he was, man, you don't know what he was or why they're beating on these people, man. But sometimes, man, they just find reasons to beat on people, man. Sometimes people in prison find reasons to victimize people, man. People posting online said Carmelo previously was bullied by Metcalf. If so, it only strengthens the prosecution's case that it was premeditated murder. Yeah, I don't believe that shit. They weren't even in the same school, right? Like, come on. Alfred, man, appreciate you. But my name's Chad Marks, you know what I mean? But definitely appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everybody that donated tonight, man. Hopefully, man, we get this thing rocking. I'm going to give it a shot, man. One more year of YouTube, man. See if these in-person interviews can get things rocking, man. But now I'm going to keep it real. If I hit the lotto, I'd still do YouTube, as crazy as that sounds. Love doing YouTube. Love spending time with the people on here. Like doing the lives where we can talk, we can interact. I can answer questions, all of that stuff. But listen, man, appreciate everyone being here. The El Salvador prison. I said I'll talk a little bit about that. Man, I think that place is horrible. But you know what? I think it's going to make people think, like, man, I probably shouldn't do no bullshit because I could be over there. Even American citizens, when they start talking about that type of stuff, I'll tell you, I won't even drive through Alabama after what I've seen. I'm not driving through there, getting caught up in something. But hey, you never know, man. I don't want to, be like, hey. Kevin was hidden by Amy. What do you say, Amy? I want to see it. Tell me, Amy, if I got to just, zap, we'll zap. Chad, I'd really like to get a signed copy of your book. I already own a copy of your book, but if I send you money to pay for another copy, would you sign it for me? If you send me a copy, send me an email. You send me a copy from Amazon, I'll sign it and send it back to you, bro. Michael Velez, man, I love you too, bro. Appreciate you been here a long time, man. I appreciate you and just appreciate everybody that's been a part of this thing right here, man. I read some stuff, man, where they said after about 4 or 5 years, people burn out on YouTube. I know I've been slacking, but I got good reason. I've been doing a lot of work here. The reentry house, you guys are going to really get an in-depth glimpse of this, man. It's been a lot of hard work over there, man. Putting the studio together, not super hard, but finding the person to do the cameras and the audio and buying the stuff that needs to be there, and it's been a lot. And just so you guys know, your boy's on his Nikes right now. My car, the tranny blew in my car, right? So I'm like, hey man, I need to figure out what's going on with this. They're like, yeah, 25 grand, we'll put a new tranny in. 2,500? 25. I'm like, are you serious? So I'm in the process of, man, buying a new car. Man, Tut knows who I am, man. I don't know if he wants to come on or not. Look, man, Tut's doing his own thing. Sometimes people get out of jail and they got their agenda and they got their program and they outline it and they stick to it. I mean, hey, it might help Tut to come on, man. Send Tut a message, man. Tell him Freedom Fighters, Chad. He knows who I am. And I know who Tut is. Are you that dude they call BM Farts? No. I'm actually your dad. And you didn't even know it, bro. I'm your dad. Hi, son. Nice to meet you. Why do people get on here and say stuff like that, right? So, I mean, there's some things in the world I don't understand, man. I know he's got his own channel. Hit him up. Tell him, hey, man, go on Blood on the Razor Wire TV. So we got 250,000 subscribers, man. It might help him a little bit. We can do it in person. I'll come to New York, man. I'll come to the city. But anyway, again, listen, man, appreciate everybody being here. I know it's the late night, 10 o'clock at night. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. We're probably going to start doing all our lives again on Sunday nights now that football season's over with. But we're going to start cracking down 2 documentaries a week, at least 3 or 4 interviews a week. Keep doing the shorts. Keep pushing this content. Appreciate everybody that's a part of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, man. Told you guys a long time ago. I remember how hard it was. Hey, remember how hard it was to get 1,000 subs? Now we got like 241,000. I shouldn't have said 250. You're a liar, Chad. Someone will write me and tell me that. But anyway, man, just... I know what Tut's doing. I see Tut on there all the time, man. But anyway, Blood on the Razor Wire TV, man. We'll be back at you tomorrow. With respect, we're out of here.